just kind of sat around in a hot tub talking about StarCraft and would occasionally cast a game. Like maybe, would cast a game, maybe take a 20-minute break, have a latte, get back into it. He's a very laid-back fellow, Ben.
He is, man. And he allows you to tangent so easily. That's the one thing about Mr. Bitter.
Indeed, which is a absolutely terrible trait to have as a caster. Don't do that, guys.
All right, well, let's find out, guys. Game's already started. Let's get into it.
Welcome to Whirlwind, and to the southwest position, we have IVD Gaming's Apocalypse. He is in the red trunks and he is playing Terran. He's currently one up against this guy from New Zealand. From Team Frenetic, he is Petraeus, in the blue trunks playing Zerg to the southeast.
It's almost like Democrats versus Republicans, bottom left versus top, bottom right.
Why do you keep doing this? What the hell is wrong with you?
I even said that I was going to do it next game.
Yeah, but I assumed that you were kidding.
No, man. See, I'm not like you. I keep to my word, Turtle Biscuit. God.
You commit to the cringe. I can respect that. I can respect a man that has principles.
Turtle Biscuit, how do you think I got my name, man? Like, it's just drilling it over and over and over again. And once you think it's dead, it's not dead, Turtle Biscuit. I'm going to bring it up again. Immediately.
Wonderful. That's a little bit hashtag dicey, Greenstorm.
It is hashtag dicey.
Oh.
You should start using hashtag dicey. And YOLO
It's a wonderful substitute for actual substantive commentary, I tend to find, which is going to be really useful for me, considering I have none
Here
of
at
that,
NASL, we try to shy away from that as much as possible.
Yes, substance is a dangerous thing.
It is, because once you talk about substance, then, people get bored of it. What they really want to hear is just hashtag dicey, YOLO Swag 420. They want to hear the current trends. I don't know, Kev. Exactly. See, you're getting it, Turtle Biscuit. This is the marks of a truly expert commentator. That's why Mr. Bitter and Rotterdam are going to be casting BlizzCon. Guess who's not?
Absolutely. And that's why I've been relegated to casting Hearthstone.
Exactly.
So, that's why it happened. I understand now. Truly, I will now learn from you and become the next level of commentator.
No, don't learn from me. Learn from Mr. I'm still learning. I think I'm too informative as it is.
There's nothing worse than being too informative as a caster, I tend to find. Like, we could tell the audience, for instance, that Apocalypse decided to go for the high ground CC and the wall off, followed by the barracks and the gas. We could do that, but they don't want to know that kind of stuff.
They don't.
It makes the game boring. Where's the excitement if you know everything?
See, what you do is you let everything pass with a story, right? So I'll tell you about something that happened in my past, and then we'll go back to everything later so we have a lot to talk about rather than just saying it as it is. And then you make it seem like the game is so intense because there's just so much to say that we haven't said already.
Exactly, because you didn't bother to give them any information in the first 10 minutes of the game. So they're just waiting for it by that point. You build that anticipation, you whet the appetite.
Exactly. See, you're getting it. Turtle Biscuit, you're a fast learner. You really are.
Indeed. Apocalypse is going to learn what exactly is going on in his opponent's drone line, and he will be surprised to find that mining is occurring. There's really nothing else for him to see, because this is the gasless style here from Petraeus, a little bit older school, and it's going to be focusing certainly on a lot of queens, most likely the 4-queen build. In fact, it absolutely will be the 4-queen build from Petraeus, and he will take his gas a little bit later. And that's fine against what Apocalypse did. It's absolutely fine. Both of these guys are going to hang on for a little while, and there's that factory you were talking about. I wonder if we will see the Blue Flame Hellion as you predicted.
It could be. I mean, the second refiner is very telling that it most likely will be something like that. It can be Banshees as well, but definitely not that super fast third. And that was very evident. Actually seeing this supply depot in the front, I was surprised to see that. After knowing that your opponent isn't going for gases too early, normally you stop at 30 supply and you get your third command center. It's so greedy. But you can pull that off because you know there's no speedling run-in that you have to worry about.
Here's an armory. We'll probably see Hellbats.
Yeah. Didn't even think about Hellbats, man. Hellbats are dead to me, that's why.
Yeah, they're dead to most people. Certainly dead to innovation. He was very disappointed to see that happen, but we are going to see Hellbats, and there's no real reason to bring an armory up so early. And then we will see the third command center, and a starport is coming up, so unless we see some crazy combo that I've never seen before, it's going to be a Hellbat drop.
Double Widow Mine's very interesting to start things off. But
certainly.
I do expect the Hellbats, of course. It could be something sick like a Thor drop, though.
It could.
That would be
that would be pretty fantastic. I haven't seen one of those in a while, but We could just see the Widow Mines coming up for a little bit of early defense just to go at the front there, or we could see a drop as well with them. There's the medevac coming in. So do we see the Hellbat follow up on this factory? That's the question. He's got the armory. Is he going to build Hellbats?
There it is.
Yes, he is.
Do you know what's the sickest part about this, Turtle Biscuit? If I'm the Zerg player and I'm looking in and seeing what's going on, this looks exactly like the regular pulp build.
Yeah.
You're not expecting like 7-8 minute attacks at all.
Yeah, the position of this armory is actually fantastic. It's especially true on this map in particular, because getting an overlord around there with this being so close to the edge and there being very little free airspace is really difficult. It's nigh on impossible. So you've got Apocalypse deliberately hiding that armory right at the back to make sure that will never happen. And I am interested to see how Petraeus will actually hold on to this. Thing is, Petraeus has already built roaches, and he's got a Spore Crawler coming up because he has no idea what's coming at him. So he's thinking, all right, he's now seen the medevac, and instantly Apocalypse turns around with those Hellbats, decides, you know what, I'm not going to go into that mineral line.
And I love Petraeus. We were, really focusing on Apocalypse because normally the Terran is the one that takes the initiative at that mid-game stage. But Zerg, if we look, he's gone for double upgrades. This is going to be a big 1-1 timing. Now, this is the big problem with the Pulp build or anything like the Pulp build. As I was saying, the barracks, they pop out at like 10 minutes. That's really late. You can't get enough units out for a lot of these all-ins. Now, these barracks are going to come out slightly faster, but still, this 1-1 timing is going to be almost impossible to stop if he chooses to do it. I thought, maybe not. It's plus on melee attack. I thought for sure he was going to go for the Roach, but
for the Roach timing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, considering that his opponent went for Hellbats, I'm actually kind of surprised. But the thing is, it's only just been revealed that Hellbats are on the field, and that's assuming he was even looking at that single Zergling that just died. This is a double Hellbat drop coming in. There are 5 Roaches and 2 Queens waiting in that third base, which should be enough to clean that up, but not before it does damage. I wonder if Apocalypse will just decide to go right for the natural. There's a big clump of units he could hit there.
Oh, Medevacs are just going to back up from there. It looks like a Spire's going down behind this. So it's just going to be regular Zergling Baneling Muta. I would have loved him to do some sort of all-in, though. I'm telling you, like, anytime you see a fast starport like this, you just go for it as Zerg, because...
He definitely can, because the unit count's going to be lower, isn't it? You know, he's focused on early tech.
It's something that we've seen, like, Suppy and... Well, it's how Suppy beat Pulp in the most recent, what was it, the Red Bull qualifiers.
Yeah.
And I mean, if the Orcs are Suppy, I mean, a lot of people would argue that Pult is a much better player overall just because, well, he's won 2 WCS championships.
Certainly.
But, you know, he definitely has his weaknesses in his build.
He does, yeah. And occasionally when he gets a cold, he bombs out of tournaments very early, which is very unfortunate. But, you know, the weird thing about Apocalypse in this game is that these Hellbats have done nothing. They have killed 2 Lings, and that's it. Their early commitment to armory has resulted in no benefits to him whatsoever. And the Zerg player, on the other hand, is trucking ahead just merrily. He's got his 4th hatchery going down here. He's been mining comfortably off 3 bases. He's got double upgrades going. He's even got his Overlord speed going so that pesky Viking can't go around picking off everything. And he is now in a position where he can do whatever he wants. The 1-1 is done, so he's going to say, all right, what can I make happen with 1-1? And then he's going to do the same thing with 2-2. He finds a tank over there and says, you know what, I don't really want to be anywhere near that. So he backs off for a while. But at this point, Petraeus is looking in a far healthier position than what he was in Game 1.
It's really important, though, that he doesn't be overly aggressive like what we saw previously.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the one thing that killed him last time around. This time, I would love to see him tech a little bit faster. Get that hive tech, get ultras out in the field. You already have a booming economy. You don't have to fight for that. Your opponent's third base is pretty late. So just sit back a little bit, macro up, and say, hey, let's just maintain my creep spread, deny a 4th base, and play this war of attrition. That's something that I would love Petraeus to be doing here. We'll find out if he does it, as he is just going into macro mode from here, taking additional space.
I really want to see him go into those mineral lines with the mutas, because right now Apocalypse is extremely vulnerable. No missile turret in the natural, a couple in the main, but not actually near the mineral line, so easily bypassed. He could do massive amounts of damage with the mutas. Eats a Widow Mine, unfortunately. That's a nice little placement there by Apocalypse, and immediately forces Petraeus to turn around there. And he hasn't made anything really happen with the mutas at this point. In the meantime, Apocalypse will then counter drop because he knows where the mutalisks are. He drops outside of the vision of Petraeus, whose Overlord spread is not that great right now, and is going to go straight after that Queen, kill it, and then go to town on the drones.
Drones are just going to run away. Thankfully, though, the drones are actually doing a good job at stopping any of these units from targeting on the hatchery, so he will maintain his 4th base, and most importantly, enough drones basically to mine off of those the 7th and 8th gases. That's really important to have. Those 7th and 8th gases really empower you in the hive tech situation, but still not going over to hive. This is really interesting. As you can see, he's kind of letting his opponent get back in upgrades. We had a big 2-2 lead for our Zerg player. Now it's going to be evened out, and he can't get his hive all that fast. That means he can't get his 3-3 all that fast. This is a tough position for Petraeus to be in.
It really is. He didn't make anything happen with the 2-2 timing this time around, so as you said, 2-2 is about to kick in here for Apocalypse, and if the Infernal Pre-Igniter is added to those Hellbats in the mix, this Baneling Muta style is going to be even worse than what it usually is. It's less biomine in this case and more just meat on the ground with a Thor in the middle as well. What he's got can just straight up gun down Petraeus' army.
Oh, yeah.
But we are reaching a kind of max situation here where things can go either way.
And I love just the incorporation of the pre-igniter. It's so smart. I don't think there's any attacks that can work here for Petraeus. He needs to back up. Definitely doesn't have the count to do anything just yet. He's going to be prompted or going to be poked a little bit, prodded for just to move forward. But I like that Petraeus just moves back still. No hive tech, and I'm just so scared because we've seen this time and time again, Turtle Biscuit. Maxed out armies, when you stay on lair tech, you're not able to deal with the Terran army that's even at 2-2. But, I mean, look at this composition. It's beautiful.
You need Infestors against this, as far as I'm concerned. Just such a massive clump of Marines that are just begging to be bungled. And the Infestation Pit is far too far away. Even if that completes, Pathogen Glands won't be done for ages. So Infestors probably won't be a factor here. And here comes the engagement. Tanks are situated at the back, resulting in an absolutely devastating engagement for the Zerg player, who is utterly crushed by Apocalypse's army there. The tanks did an amazing job picking off big clumps of Banelings. More Banelings are being morphed in, but that means, hey, the gas count is very low for the Zerg player, even on 8 gases, because +2 flyer attacks coming in, the Muta count is being rebuilt. He's actually going up to a massive amount of Mutalisks, which is an interesting idea if he can deal with these Marines.
Oh,
and he comes once again. Oh, this is... Oh, wow, so many Banelings die, but he will be able to clean this army up. Quite costly, but Apocalypse actually is now in full retreat, and having lost those Marines and without enough Widow Mites to really defend him against that big rush, Petraeus is suddenly back in the driver's seat with a really great economy.
I mean, yeah, 4 bases is really good, but that +3 is going to kick in pretty soon. That changes the tide of how these battles really go. Hive Tech is just about halfway done. Petraeus feels comfortable. I like the fact... Oh! Again, Petraeus needs to be so careful. This is a situation where he can't be over-aggressive, and I think he is. Banelings will not be able to connect on anything of too much value, but is it going to be enough mutas? I think it might be.
It should be. It should be just enough. He did lose a significant number of them, and he lost quite a lot of Banelings as well. His engagement angle was suboptimal there, but he's still going to be able to make his way into the 3rd base and potentially do damage here. Petraeus is in a really good spot. Apocalypse is bleeding hard. The Banelings just crash into the command center as he picks that off nice and easy. Oh, he doesn't pick it off nice and easy. Apocalypse actually saves it. Petraeus doesn't commit that much, and Apocalypse puts himself in a little bit of a better spot, but we're still talking about a 5-base Zerg here who is not being touched. He's not being dropped. He is being able to just reload with set of units after set of units, and eventually he may choose to transition to Hive Tech. In fact, he already has going Ultras.
Yeah. All right. Well, Apocalypse still has a very salvageable position. He has to play defensive, though, for a little bit. That will give that Ultra Tech, as you were saying, the time to really start to materialize. Mutas, I love how active he's being with these mutas, and this is a scary number. Yeah,
he's going for mineral lines, which is exactly what he should be doing. Even with the Contaminate there on the orbital command, which is not going to be massively helpful, but he guns down a good number of workers there and is able to get out. Petraeus now in the solid lead when it comes to killing workers. We're seeing upgrades come in. Petraeus a little bit late on his upgrades to get a really good timing. Whoa. Oh, nice pickup there. Hot pickup by Apocalypse as he saves that Thor. But, oh dear, this base will not finish. Petraeus is going to make sure of that. He murders the planetary before it completes.
It's a lot of Banelings, though, he's committed right now. Petraeus, my god, loses almost every single Baneling. This is, if anything, this is the timing that he needs to hit. With all those Banelings, that's like a good couple minutes of gas that he just fed in there. Still, Petraeus, he looks like he will be able to get Banelings out in time. We'll see how the micro goes. Right now,
I think he's in trouble here, Greentop. I really do. And the reason I believe that is because those supplies are highly deceptive. Petraeus has 81 drones versus 43 SCVs. Apocalypse's army is pretty big. It's low in health, but it's pretty damn big. And Petraeus might be caught out here. Without chitinous plating available, without the upgrades, those ultras are not going to be that effective. He doesn't have any infestors to hold them down either. And Apocalypse is just going to barrel forward. Oh, Baneling detonations are not too bad. Can Petraeus actually throw this back on? The transfusers come on here as well. The Marauder's getting picked up, and he does. It looks like he will be able to throw it back.
Units were just so low. GG gets called out. And Petraeus out-macroing Apocalypse. Really impressive play right there. I mean, you were talking about the whole time. 3 base, 4 base. We saw an untouched Petraeus for a very long time. It